Alrighty, and welcome back to the Crypto Report, everybody. I'm Crypto Kip. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, guten Tag, and hello. I covered my bases there. Let me know what you think of the tunes, guys. I'm really digging these new tunes. It's fresh, something fresh to have. Pretty good. I do have a lot of breaking news, like actually, really this time. A lot of breaking news today. I got to talk about this massive short happening in decentralized exchanges. Have you guys heard about this? This giant short position. First 300 million, now 500 million. What is going on? And why is Bitcoin falling lower? I thought we were supposed to be going to the moon. This is supposed to be a bull market. Well, I still think that it is. There is no doubt that we've got some games happening, some manipulation of the market for sure, happening right now. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to BSS and E.Po and Scott, Crypto Keeper, and Shy Socks. And hope you guys are all doing well today. Eric says Daily Candle is so bad. His target is 71K, and that's where we're going, says Eric. Well, do you guys agree with Eric or do you disagree with him? I'd like to hear from you guys in the comments section. I'd love to hear from you guys in the comment section. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We've got a breakfast. Thank you, my love, my beautiful, wonderful, spectacular wife. For breakfast, we have some cottage cheese, some scrambled eggs, and some toast, which is all going to get nice and cold for me. It'll be great. Hope you guys are doing awesome out there. What a beautiful thing. How great is my wife, huh? She is the best. So we got a lot of news today. We're going to talk about it. Let's get in here. Let's get into it. Crypto Keeper says it all depends on tomorrow. You're not wrong. You know, we're going to be looking at tomorrow and we're going to be seeing, is the Fed going to crash crypto, right? I mean, is he going to be getting this market to dump, right? Is he going to come out with some hawkish news? Well, we can really only wait and see. And I think it's going to be very, very suspenseful. So buckle up, buckaroo. Hope you're doing well. Daryl Young in the chat. How's it going? Let's get into some of this, guys. So, by the way, tap that like button. Subscribe to the channel. All those good things. Right now, we've got a couple of you guys watching on X and YouTube right now, so reshare the stream, tweet it out, all that good stuff, and let's get into the news. So first up, Bitcoin's down to 81K. I've got to jump right into the chart, and we got to take a peek at what's going on. First of all, XRP looks like it might want to take its journey back down to $2 because Bitcoin is losing its level, and unfortunately, our total market cap is turning red on the weekly time frame. If this breaks down below this, XRP could come back down to $2. You can see Crocoin come back down below to the 6-cent ranges. You can see Pepe coin fall lower. You can see everything fall lower if our total market cap breaks through and Bitcoin breaks through, guys. It's all tied together, and unfortunately the stock market is falling lower as well. If you've been taking a peek at the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is struggling right now, which is tough. It's all tough right now. The whole market is tough with inflation, stagflation. Now we're getting warnings of stagflation. We're going to talk more about that. And a lot is going on there. Let's look at Bitcoin dominance. I'm not breaking out yet. Tomorrow is going to be an interesting day to watch all the markets for sure, but Bitcoin dominance especially could shoot up tomorrow. Let's see what happens. So Bitcoin's down today. So is Ethereum. Everything's kind of down right now. Looking at our 24 hours, we've got a couple coins that are up. Yesterday, PancakeSwap was soaring. And today, actually, where's PancakeSwap compared to yesterday? Yesterday, there was a huge token burn for PancakeSwap. And it looks like it might even be up since yesterday, which is pretty impressive. But I do think that this is not going to be a sustained rally. There's probably a decent short to be had on PancakeSwap, as somebody said the other day, unless this crypto market explodes. Well, then perhaps not. Pancake is probably a good investment when we have a full-fledged bull market. We're just not in that bull market season, and the pump with Pancake Swap right now just doesn't make sense because of the news, but it doesn't make sense with the rest of the market, which tells me it's right now overvalued given the climate that we're currently sitting in here for crypto. Some other coins are up today, but not a lot of them. Most coins are down. So we've got a lot of coins that are down. Over the last 7 days, we've got some that are up, but really we've got just across the board a lot of these things are down over the last 7 days now, as of this morning, and over the last month especially, they are down. Over the last few months, they're quite down. And altcoin season is, 20 out of 100. We're not even close to altcoin season right now. Well, I would argue we're getting closer. We just need the Fed to pivot, and the Fed's not pivoting right now, not yet. So keep an eye. Oh, look, Mary's trending today, up 65%. Congratulations to all the Cronos fam that's got that. But a lot of discounts. I mean, to get a Cardano below 70 cents, what a great discount. To get an Hbar below 20 cents, what a great discount. A lot of discounts right now, guys. A lot of discounts right now. If you want to do some trading of your own, you can sign up for Blowfin using our link in the description down below, my friends. I like trading on Blowfin. Right now, there's a guy that's doing some leverage trading. I don't suggest opening up positions like this, but let's talk about this guy. Opened up $520 million Bitcoin short on Hyperliquid, which is a decentralized exchange. They set up for a massive long. We've got to break down this story, guys. I think this is probably the #1 story in crypto. How's it going, Scott? How's it going, guys? But let's talk about this story. This is a huge story. So on March 16th, a Bitcoin whale placed a $520 million short on a DeFi exchange, Hyperliquid, using 40x leverage, making it one of the largest known trades on the decentralized exchange probably in history. Here's the position. Actually, you'll see here the value is 376 million, which was the original position. But then some individuals on X came out and said, if you're willing to hunt this dude with size, drop a DM. Setting up a team right now. Already got good size. They're trying to long against this guy and buy so that this short gets liquidated. But once this short was being put into position to get liquidated, instead of just staying there and exiting in a loss, this whale increased the position another $200 million. Okay. So with a liquidation price at 85,561, people thought they could liquidate this short and send the market higher. The trade would be wiped out if Bitcoin just rose 1.75%, which just to put that into perspective for you, I want you to realize that in the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has moved 2.7% to the other direction in favor of the short trader. And it could have easily moved the other way, but that leaves the question, what does this guy know to put that big of a position out there, to have confidence that it's not going to go up 1.75%, which is just wow. What does this guy know? Who is this guy? We don't know. But this has a mega amount of attention right now, and people are trying to liquidate this guy, and clearly this effort did not work. It did not work. So there are some other theories out there. Some analysts, however, think that the whale's massive position might be calculated strategy rather than a case of careless short gone wrong, and I don't think it's gone wrong at this point. It's very much not gone wrong. In fact, this guy's making millions of dollars right now because the price is down to 81K, which is incredible. According to cryptocurrency analyst Josh Mann, looking at this guy on X, here's an interesting theory that I wanted to share with you guys. So looking at this. Whoa. So there's a fairly rare and not widely used technique of self-liquidation, and this feels a little like that in such events. The seller is actually creating a time bomb designed to go off and create a rally from the liquidation of his own short. So one would expect that he has a large long offsetting this short. Well, he might. This guy might have longs to counter trade this short if he thinks this short's if he wants the short to get liquidated. That sounds crazy to just lose $300 million. But the liquidation that this would cause to send prices to the upside would be a very, very big wick to the upside. And if he had some long positions, well, then he could really make a lot of money on that long position, because then it could cause some momentum to the upside in the market. And then, we're right back. Games could be playing again. There's the problem with leverage, guys. There's the problem with leverage. But, leverage is a great tool. I like using leverage from time to time and doing some trading. I've been doing a lot of trading successfully. If you guys want to do some trading as well, you can sign up for Blowfin using our link. I don't expect anybody to open up $500 million longs or shorts on Bitcoin, but, you can make a couple $100 every day, leverage trading a couple $1,000 every leverage trading very easily. If you're in and out and you're setting your stop losses, you're long in support, you're shorting resistance. So this is just a crazy story I want to share with you guys. And it's probably the biggest story right now in crypto. This guy's not getting liquidated yet, but it could happen. Let's see what happens. I want to remind you guys that even though people are short trading, okay, the market right now, you still have forward progress towards global adoption for crypto. There's this Bitcoin Act that's been proposed by congressmen and senators for the U.S. to buy 1 million Bitcoin. Now we got a strategic reserve. Well, now there's a bill to buy 1 million Bitcoin, and the congressman says that the likelihood of passing the act is growing, which is good to see, even as people are shorting Bitcoin. Bitcoin edges higher to 84K. It was heading higher, and now it's not. As some analysts were warning of another leg down. The reason being, I think, is because of the Fed. But let's see what this article says. Key U.S. stock indexes extending their bounce into this week gave favorable backdrop for risk assets. However, the LMAX group strategist Joel warned that the monthly S&P 500 chart suggests sustained correction for U.S. equities, which could weigh on cryptocurrencies. And let's take a peek at that really quickly. Here is that's Coinbase stock. Here is the S&P 500. Look at your weekly time frames. Weekly. Look at all these weekly candles, all red. Let's go to the monthly time frame for the S&P 500. Whoa, what just happened? Oh, got it. Whoa. Okay, there's our monthly time frame. We could get a sustained correction. Think about this time back in 2021, where we came down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months before 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. So from this time to this time, it took 2 years for the S&P to get back to where it was. Are we going to have something like that happening now? I don't know, guys. I don't know. I don't want to see it. Inflation's not great still. It's better than expectations in the last reading. The Fed is not cutting rates this time, but they're probably going to cut them soon. The tariff thing is definitely causing some concerns. Pain before gain. I do think that these dips are great to buy, because the reality of the situation is if you were buying throughout this dip, well, you almost got a 2x on the S&P 500 if you sold up here, right? And, realistically, you don't. But that's a 2x. From the bottom here to the top here is almost a 2x, which is incredible, which is why, knowing the markets just kind of go up into the right over time is a good thing to remember and understand. But this is the fear right now, is that just not crypto per se, but the entire market is in a fearful state, okay? The entire market is in a fearful state. So that's tough, guys. That's tough. There's potential for a lower low in Bitcoin to revisit the March 2024 March peak at 73 and 74K, which is something I've been talking about for a very long time. What I've been talking about mostly is with the total market cap bouncing here at the 2024-2025 highs. But, Bitcoin might do it too, which means there's more downside for Bitcoin, which means total market cap could fall a lot lower. It could happen, guys. It could happen. I don't want it to happen. We're not in trouble yet. If we lose this weekly yellow line, then we could be heading in that direction. And remember, there is a billionaire shorting Bitcoin right now. What does he know? What does he know? I do not know what he knows. He knows something that we don't know. And it might be a bearish thing, or it could be this whale game thing where he's shorting it, looking to get liquidated, and he's got a long position. So We'll see. We think the Fed might pause or end its quantitative tightening program this week, which would be huge, as the bank reserve levels near 10 to 11% of GDP levels commonly considered sufficient for maintaining financial stability. If we do see the Fed come out and end quantitative tightening this week, I think that would be pretty bullish personally. So I don't understand. The market near universally expects the Fed to keep rates unchanged during the week, but some investors keep an eye on a potential central bank's balance sheet runoff or quantitative tightening program. So that's a bull from Coinbase. So let's see. You got the bears and the bulls battling. We could have a hawkish Fed. We could have a dovish Fed. Let's see what happens, guys. But this is the conversation. Everybody's looking at the Fed. Everybody's looking, we need to ease stagflation fears right now. And everybody's waiting for this meeting tomorrow. In 1 day, 1 hour and 41 minutes, we are going to have a 99% chance that we're going to get a rate pause, not a rate cut. In May, we've got a 79% chance we're going to get another rate pause. And then in June, finally, you start seeing only a 30% chance that we're going to get a rate pause, and actually a 75. What is that? Is that a 75? No, that's a 70. No, that's a 65% chance that we're either going to get a half a point or a quarter point rate cut, which would help us with our risk on assets. Found an interesting article. Coinbase stock may rally to $310 on Trump-led crypto policies, but here's the problem. Man, Coinbase stock has been struggling. It was already at $348 back in December, and everything was great in crypto in December, but everything's coming down lately. So 310 is cool, but like, I'm looking for higher price. I'm looking for highs for Coinbase stock, who has the seat at the table at the White House with the crypto industry, with the president, being involved in the conversation of where this regulatory aspect is going to go. I do think that Coinbase stock looks like it's due for a bounce, but it's not going to bounce if Bitcoin doesn't bounce. But there's definitely a good point to this, where any of the companies that are interacting with the current administration regarding the future of crypto and crypto policies is probably going to have a favorable stock performance for their assets, and for anybody that's holding the assets associated with those companies. Probably. That's my thought. That's why I do own Coinbase stock personally. We do also have this report coming out, and very interesting. Bitcoin and crypto companies are seeking to become national banks under this administration, according to a Reuters report, which is very, very interesting. Could you imagine if Coinbase is a bank? Well, maybe that's why they're looking to go have a higher stock price. If they become a bank, they become one more way to make some money, become a major financial institution that offers crypto and banking services. I know that crypto.com wants to do that. Likely Coinbase is going to want to do that as well. I wouldn't be surprised to see it. Again, if you guys want to do some trading on this volatility in this market, you can sign up for Blowfin. There was a trading contest going on that ends today. I think it might be over. I think it ended today, or it's going to end soon. There will be more trading contests. There will be more prizes and awards and things. They give us these awesome campaigns to help show people, help get people onboarded, right? And what do we get? We get a little bit of a fee when you do trade. I'm trading, and if you're trading and you want to trade, you can sign up to support the channel using our link. This is not a partnership. This is not a ad. This is not a sponsored thing. This is just a affiliate link. But we do use this platform for trading. I like using this platform a lot. It's actually the only platform that I use for trading, and a lot of major traders do use this platform. So, we try to give you the extra perks and kind of get as many bonuses as we can for you guys. So when you do sign up, you get something out of it besides just a great platform to trade on. Anyway, so that trading contest, I hope you guys did well in that trading contest. Let's look at some of the other news right now. So we looked at some of these stock prices. There you go. The S&P 500, big red weekly candle. That's tough. Binance ex-CEO warns 95% of crypto investors won't survive, which is probably the truth, because 95% of cryptos won't survive either. There's a new coin made every second. Most of it's trash. Bitcoin is the future, and that's the point of this article, essentially. Holding BTC surpasses 90% of crypto participants and other asset types. And so Bitcoin is the number one strategy in Bitcoin. And I'm not going to sit here and deny that. Bitcoin is the easiest, most simple way to win in crypto. You want to win in crypto? If you buy Bitcoin, you basically can't lose. Not unless we see Satoshi Nakamoto or MicroStrategies or the US government sell all their Bitcoin all at the same time and they crash the market and it goes away and then it's legal, which I don't think we're going to see. We haven't seen it. In fact, we're only embracing Bitcoin more and more. 80% are tourists who arrive with news and leave, which is exactly what we saw just the other day. I mean, think back to November and December. 80% of people came, they made some money, some left with money, and some stayed and lost their money, and they're just going to keep their money in, they're going to lose it, and they're going to go away, or they'll sell the bottom and they'll go away, and then the tourists are gone. 10% are Twitter news traders following foolish influencers. That happens, guys. You got to be careful. You know, don't trust anybody, to be honest with you. Don't trust anybody at all. You got to do your own due diligence, and that's something that I always tell you. You got to make your own choice. You got to do your own due diligence. Don't trust anybody, okay? You got to do your own due diligence. You got to take your future into your hands. All you got to do is buy Bitcoin if you want to guarantee a win. It's really that simple. And that's why Michael Saylor and MicroStrategy is issuing another 5 million stocks to raise more funds to buy more Bitcoin. They've already got 499,000 Bitcoin. This will bring them over 500,000 Bitcoin. And I don't know when they're ever going to stop buying Bitcoin. Maybe they'll never stop buying Bitcoin. Maybe they'll never stop buying Bitcoin. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys, I did have a lot of news to get through there. We certainly talked about quite a bit. Tunaholics just said, I just bought Ando and Sui. Beautiful. DCing. Bitcoin's grandfather will always be around. However, he's slow and will see other crypto creep towards it. Probably not make the #1 spot. I don't know. I don't even like to call Bitcoin grandfather. He's not that slow and he's kind of king. I don't like to call him grandfather. You just got to call him king. King of the castle, la da da. De Ole Profit in the chat says, I see a big dip before March 24th and start riding up. Well, maybe once we get this Fed meeting over with, you know, we can start heading up again. FOMC meeting expectations. Whoa. Hold up, guys. Let's read a little bit more on this, guys. Investors are growing increasingly concerned that President Donald Trump's... So let's change the tunes real quick. Investors are growing increasingly concerned that President Donald Trump's tariff policies, federal layoffs could spark a U.S. recession, and even bigger worries the Federal Reserve might not be able to do much about it. Officials on the federal and the FOMC meeting are set to discuss tomorrow what they can do, if anything, to control inflation. In a matter of weeks, Trump's post-election effect on the stock market has gone from bump to slump, which is true. We were pumping, and now we're dumping. And a lot of people thought we'd be pumping under the president, under this presidency, but we are not because of still the inflation problem and now the tariffs to go on top of it. Policymakers are almost certainly expected to leave borrowing costs alone this week. That's a Fed rate pause. The Fed chief central banker said as much in his final public comments before. This was basically what they've been saying. Despite elevated levels, the economy is still in a good place, and they're still not in a hurry to lower the rates. But tomorrow, we're going to be looking for clues. We're going to see their projections for what, economic growth, inflation, job market, and interest rates. And everybody's, on the edge of their chairs. So this really didn't tell us that much. Inflation is the type of thing that keep the Fed on the sidelines, but a sharp slowdown in growth and rapid deterioration of the labor market could prompt the Fed to resume cutting rates. So we'll see. If we get a sharp slowdown in growth and deterioration of the labor market, which could be being happened intentionally right now. You know, I don't know. Save the economy or slow down from a slowdown, or keep inflation in check. Probably let the economy slow down, because we can't have inflation keep going on. And I think that's what they're doing right now. Typically, higher prices and slower economy are counterintuitive. Inflation usually indicates that the financial system is red hot, a symptom of wage hikes or too much money chasing too few goods. Comparing this to the pandemic era. So this is what we're looking at, guys. Tomorrow's a big day. Tomorrow's a big day, folks. Daryl Young says, Jerome Powell's the one that put in that short. Could you imagine? What if it came out that it was? Isn't that insane? How's it going? Vote him. Still apart from Crow. Still a part of Crow, but I have this feeling that we might not do as well as anticipated. Dream for $1 Crow, but we don't know. I think it's still coming, but, you know, CRO is struggling in the meantime. So is the entire crypto market. So is the S&P 500. If the S&P 500 is struggling, then we can't be that upset about our lackluster performance on our crypto assets. Everything's struggling. That's the secret, guys. Everything is struggling right now. And that's a bummer. Okay, what's going on? Give me a little Q&A in the chat. How you doing? How you doing? Talk about Paul Atkins. What did Paul Atkins do? Bitcoin's coming back up above 82. Getting a little relief rally for a second here. Guys, I don't know. I'm telling you, I mean, there's so much uncertainty right now. I don't know. March 27th confirmation hearing. Yeah, that's good. I mean, he's already been working on it. It's not that much news, but you know, that's good. BSS says, I have not sold my Crow yet, but I feel so defeated. I know, we all do, brother. We all do. These markets are lame right now. Altcoins suck, and it's brutal. It's brutal. It's just what it is right now. But these are the times where when you're dollar cost average again, when things go up, you're the genius. Things could come lower, so it's not an all-in thing. It's just a steady in over time thing. And if you really are panicking and you can't figure out what to do, then just buy Bitcoin. Not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give advice, but that's it, guys. No, I don't, Eric. I'm not. I can't pull that up. What else is going on in the chat? I love that we got folks from Hawaii in this chat. All right, I'm going to change the tune. AR says, our 4-year cycle's over? Well, not yet. Not yet. We're still on track, AR. Great question. Still on track. When you zoom out, you realize, like, this isn't... Look at the Bitcoin price. Now, maybe the altcoin seasons are different. Maybe. Perhaps. But, I mean, guys, these volatilities happen. You know. It's just bigger volatilities. So, I mean... the thing I go off of all the time, guys, is this. It's from the bottom to the top. Bull markets last about 1,070 days. So, you know, boom. And we're only 854 days in, so we still got a couple hundred days to go. That's more time to get back to the upside. But it does look less likely that we're breaking above 200K in this cycle, I'll tell you that. Starting to look less likely that we're going to break above 200K in this cycle the longer we go on, but it's still possible. Daryl Young says, what does this cycle look like compared to all the other cycles? We must be crazy underperforming. Well, we're not underperforming. We're really kind of on track for that rainbow chart. Remember, you know, over time, what's going to happen with this Bitcoin chart is it's going to kind of, arch in this direction. And it eventually, it's going to kind of flatline out and kind of slightly go up. But this is what a logarithmic band looks like. Ah, gosh, this is so... That's what it looks like, right? And then slowly up over time. So, you know, the you make is always again diminishing returns. The thing though that's been, you know, lackluster for this is the altcoins for sure, because Bitcoin dominance has rallied higher for longer. Oh, no exchange. Sold all his crow. Godspeed, brother. I don't blame you. I get it. I get it. Well, we'll see, Eric. You know, last time stock RSI is at bottom. The only way up is now. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Well, that's all I got. Nice little 40-minute stream for you this morning. I got through a lot of news, not a ton of questions, light views today. Tomorrow, we're going to have a lot of viewers. Everybody wants to watch the FOMC. So if you want to do some trading, go ahead and check out the link in the comments in the description down below, guys. Check it out. Check it out. Not sold divorce. Oh, man. Oh, brother. All right, guys. That's all I got. Smash a like, subscribe, DCA HODL. Sign up for Blowfin if you want to do some trading in the links pinned in the description and chat down below. That's all I got, guys. DCA HODL. See you the next one. Peace, y'all.